Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I'm your host, Richard, and we're here today to talk about the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, also known as Imola. Here today to do this 2 month step with me is none other than Ranch. Ranch, how are we doing today, bro?
All good, all good. It's been a warm weekend, so can't complain. And the race didn't completely stink, so all good here. How are you, brother?
I'm hot, bro. That's why this heat's pissing me off, bro. That's how I am, to be fair. But
the heat is good, bro. And I'm like, if I wasn't planning for bigger things, it's a good time to be active and enjoying, bro. That's for the other members of the cast. Have you seen that? There's no one here, bro. These men are outside, active. You know, Kwame wherever he is,
we
Mahad
know where
wherever
he
he
is.
is.
Yeah. The private slap screaming Soho House so bad, you know. Fucking hell. Don't kill me. Oh, man. Don't kill me. It's either that or he's with Bonnie Blue in them, but yeah, let's move on.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Right, let's start before we stop moving mad. Right, Quali. So we had an event for Quali today. We had 2 people crash out, so Yuki and Colapinto. A couple of upgrades as well to a couple of cars, and also Pirelli started to debut the C6 tire, which is the softest compound that they brought to the 2025 calendar, if you will. And it was quite interesting, at least in the quality perspective, anyway. So, Chris, shall we just go straight to Pirelli? Should we just talk about the Harlow day out, at least in the quality this season? Like, how is it the medium tire was better than the soft? Why is the soft dying out after like 1 or 2 sectors? What the hell is going on here, bro? Or like, what the hell? Aston Martin qualified, I think 5th and 8th on mediums compared to other people. And George qualified on 3rd on mediums. But everyone else was like, no, we're going to save our mediums, blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. So, Chris, let's talk about it, bro. What are Pirelli playing now?
I can't believe I'm saying this, yeah. But it was a good thing that Pirelli bought these terrible tires. And it's one of those things where qualifying is a bit of a joke, but it made for better racing. The fact that these tires couldn't last, because it's the opposite of Suzuka, where the tires were just perfect and these men were just driving flat out the entire time. Here, it was a lot of temperature management where like the tires were overheating and you had to drive slowly, and it added to the jeopardy of the qualifying. And so this year's mediums were last year's softs. So that's why they were able to. That's why Aston Martin and Mercedes were able to do good laps and get their laps in. But yeah, it's one of the. It looks silly on paper, but I can't fault them because they were trying to spice things up. They saw we're having too many one stoppers and said we're just going to bring the softest tires. We're going to bring soft tires and we're going to add to the variation. And it's now up to teams to adapt to this. And the teams that seemingly were harder on their tires were forced to use mediums and thought that the mediums were faster, as they wouldn't heat the tires up as much. And teams with better tire management could go on the softer tires and make them last a lap. So it added to the variation and the spectacle, and obviously it made for different permutations in the race where some teams didn't have fresh mediums at the start of the race. They were using worn mediums that they used in qualifying. So like, it's a joke, but somehow a good joke.
That's not a good joke, let's comedian.
Yeah, like they're doing not comedian. They're doing not Dave Chappelle instead of just being a complete clown circus. Just like the joke worked in our favor. It worked in our favor as spectators. So I can't be too mad. for once. It's better. It's better the tires go this way than they do when we're in Japan or Saudi, where they just weren't really degradation at all.
Yeah, no, I do hear you on that, but the problem is that because they were so bad in quali, that means none of the attempted them in the race. So it would have been quite fun to see how long they would have lasted in the race, to be honest with you. For example, not to fast forward too much, after the full safety car, Shaw wants to be on softs, but his engineer was like, Shaw, they're not going to last 17 laps or whatever, bro. Like, you're moving mad. Like, and that's fair enough. Like, he is moving mad. If them softs, yesterday in qualifying, weren't hacking it that well, how are they going to last 17 laps in a race? Like, I don't know if that's going to work, but that would have been funny to see, like, in real time without having the data of qualifying, unfortunately. But, yeah, this is... it's going to be interesting when we go to Monaco. Well, of course, we're going to have the 2 stops, so... You know, will they be on fuck shit again and bring the C6 again?
No. The C6 is literally designed for Monaco.
Oh, okay.
So like, it is designed for Monaco, and Monaco's a mandatory 2 stops. So we'll see.
Can't wait for the medium strategy. I can't wait for that strategy. Oh, my favorite. Fuck hell. Oh, man, Ferrari, man. Right. Right. Do you want to speak about the Yuki crash? Yuki, he had a big accident, didn't he? I'm still amazed that F1 drivers can like crash really badly and just walk away like it ain't known. No dizziness, no just obviously it's high for adrenaline, but like it's still crazy to me. Like it still just blows my mind how safe these F1 cars actually are.
It was a mad crash, but it also shows off the amount of work the FIA have done towards safety, where like not only the halo but also the roll coupe as well. That basically meant that the top of the car shouldn't be destroyed in the same way a front wing would, like or front and rear wing would. So it's like the top of the car stays relatively intact, so you're never in a situation where we're skirting on a driver's helmet or their head. So props to the FIA and them and there. As for Yuki, it's your first lap. These are the mistakes that we clowned you for in your rookie season. You can't be doing this at a big Red Bull, you know. Like, obviously, we're not asking you to qualify in pole position. We're not even asking you to be in the top 6. Just saying, qualify in the top 10, and we go from there. You're crashing out in the first lap. It's not good enough, and he knows it. Everyone knows it, and I like the fact that we're pretending that we're not even pretending that he's doing an amazing job. He just, just be better, bro.
I mean, yeah, we'll probably speak on how he's done a Rebel so far later down the line of the podcast. But yeah, another one of your faves, Colapinto.
Hey, I sold my stock last year, bro. He made it to the promised land. I said, thank you very much. Sell now. This is as good as it's gonna get. I don't need this stock anymore. Like it's like it was a small investment that went to the moon. I sold when it went to the moon. It's not my son anymore. Like it's done.
No, you're not youth anymore, no. Nah, for adoption, that's crazy.
It's not, bro. I took him. He's got a nice job now, so like it's done, man. I'm not losing no more money.
But you still have Victor Martin stock.
Yeah, that will never die. The Victor Martin's experience is it's one thing that F1's missing, bro. We need that. So some stocks mean more. That's a mean. More. It means more.
It means more stock. I hear it, man. No, I hear it. But yeah, Colapinto, his first time out in an Alpine. And he had a howler. He's crashed in front of Flavio Briatore. And we know what type of time he's on. So, Ranch, do you think do you think he's going to last too much longer? Do you think he's going to... So, supposedly Fabius came out and said, he hasn't got a 5 race deal. It's as long as he does his job, he'll stay for forever. But do you think stuff like that? Do you think this is going to bypass it because it's his first race in Alpine, or are they actually going to take into account stuff like that and think, maybe we have to switch man out after 5, 7 X months of races or something like that?
Okay, the best way to put it is his job is to be better than Doohan. Doohan didn't put together a complete weekend in his time at Alpine. Like this season, he didn't put together a complete weekend. Colapinto, you've already smashed the car. It's the first race. And next week we got Monaco. Brother, your thing is don't smash the car and be in the battle for points. So if Gasly's P10, you're P11. If Gasly's P7, you're like P9, P10. Like that's your job. That's your target. Crashing in Q1 and writing off the car is failing. Like it's failed, bro. Man doing idolo with Senna, you're crashing in the same place Senna passed away, bro. Like, what is this? Like, I'm sorry, it's not good enough. And it's one of the things where, like, last year you were like the fun surprise and it was fine. But this year, it's serious time. It's the same thing that's happened to Lawson. When you're a new surprise, it's all good and well if you have a moment or two, as long as you show some like pace and some competitiveness. Now it's like this is F1's a bit more serious now. It's like you got to show levels, you got to show talent, and crashing in quali like this is just not good enough. And like this is Imola's an old school track. It's the one where it's like it shows: are you a driver or are you just a bit of like a fraud? It's not forgiven at modern day tracks. It's if you go wide or take too much, it's gonna eat you up and spit you out. That like people passed away here. Like, this is serious. So yeah, I'm not digging this whole situation, and I've got to say respect to Jack Doohan and that footage of when Colapinto crashed this man just smiling, bro. Because I would do that too. I'll be there grinning teeth, bro.
Did you hear about all the Argentina fans getting sent out after doing the crash? I mean, sorry, video crash.
Yeah, they got cooked by Formula Fakers. I can't believe it. It's to the
point I had to put out a statement and be like, guys, this is a fake tweet. Stop abusing Mick and Jack. This is a fake tweet. So imagine Sentel sent that out to the mad tweet. I'm thinking, fuck, them lot must have been getting barbecued, fam.
But this is the thing. Barbecued. Everyone that speaks against Colapinto just gets cooked by the nation of Argentina, which is just like, I'm there going, I know your economy's cooked, but you man shouldn't all have phones with internet and stuff like, like find a job, bro. Like, what's going on? But it is what it is, man. This is part of the parcel of having a person like Colapinto around, bro. You just, if you've got the backing of your nation's tapped.
You're right, yeah. Finish is tapped and that type of time. Who knows what might happen, but hey, too bad you didn't have the same energy in the Falcons War, but hey, that's not here nor there. But yeah. You're gonna have to say that out.
I'm not.
Listen, you said something mad earlier on, so never mind it.
That's true.
It's got mad thing for mad thing.
True. I was so close to making a tweet like that on their account, but then I remembered that it was
people watch you, Yeah. That's what you remembered. And when you tweeted, when you tweet something mad, but you think get in trouble for it. I like 3 tweets in my head that you probably wanted to do, but I didn't want to hot you up on the mains. I just thought, what, never mind. I know as soon as Colapinto crossed you tweets, I said, I know he wants to tweet the mad thing. I know it's like 3 tweets you could do right now, which will send him to the stratosphere, but I don't think it's worth it. But yeah,
no, it wasn't. I was gonna put in the group chat. I said, you know what? Yeah, the chat thinks I'm mad enough as it is. Let me just chill. So we chilling.
Okay, I hear it, man. I hear it. But yeah, let's run through quali. Let's get to the Ollie Bearman situation, which was quite controversial. Did he cross the red line before the red light / flag came out? I've also got the official FIA statements if you want me to read those.
Okay.
If you haven't read it.
No, so I'm aware of the FIA statement, which has annoyed me even more because the 3 seconds that it took for it to come out on the screens and everything, like I'm not saying on the driver's screen and stuff. That's fine. I'm talking about like the lights, like where that panel was. It's like, bro, you've caused this whole confusion because your thing is not relatively instantaneous. It should be like 1 second of error, and then cool. Not 5, not 3. What are we talking about? Because it's like people are like, oh, because now people are just making up stuff. Like I'm having Anthony Davidson, chat absolute rubbish in my ears because he don't know the rules, bro. The flag was out. Bearman crossed the line before any flag had come out on the screen or panels, anything. But it turned out because the race director had pressed the button for red flag a couple seconds earlier, he didn't get across on time. That's a different conversation, and that's something for the FIA to sort out. But in one aspect, Bearman got robbed, but in the other aspect, fair enough. But I'm just like a bit like, it's one of those situations where the FIA created a mess for themselves for no reason. They weren't wrong in the final decision because it makes sense, but because your process is so slow, like, you know, this is Formula One, things are tight. Like, we have to be within like a second. So, I
mean, it's according to them. I'll just read out a sentence from the status. Delay was to ensure the time and data was right. So essentially, I guess he's just unlucky now, really. To be fair, I thought he's just been unlucky. And then when Sabo obviously already sent out both letter for Q2, I think it was whatever session it was.
Yeah.
I think they kind of knew. Yeah. Bearman ain't
the Wheatley knew, bro. Wheatley, you can really see the Wheatley imprint. You can see the bro. I'm telling you, you can see the Wheatley and Bono imprint in that team already. Wheatley just doing strategies and just saying, I know the rule book, bro. I know the rules better than these men know the rules.
It's
and
true.
Then the Sauber isn't a complete and utter crap. It's still the worst car on the grid, but it's not as bad as it was last year. But I don't know if that's a driver or car upgrade. We're working on that one. But yeah, so fair enough. They made the most of the opportunity, and you know, Bearman's right to feel aggrieved just because of it's an unlucky circumstance, and he was generally like he had Ocon packed and potion the entire weekend. Like Ocon went into that mystery. Something's wrong with the car mode. Like
he's copping pleasure.
Yeah. But the thing is, because Ocon has enough credit in the bank with these situations, I can't be mad at him when he does it. But he's gone in that mode. So I'm watching. I'm like, bro, you got credit in the bank. Like you're in the black here, but don't take this too far because otherwise you'll be in the red. Yeah, and like you know, we're watching, bro. But like, because next thing you know, I have to tell you to get off YouTube, bro. Time to lock in, bro. Even though I like the videos, but like,
what you still vlogging now, yeah?
Yeah, of course, vlogging, bro. He was there doing NBA Paris, doing interview, doing quick chats with Cyril Gahn, brother. He showed off his new car, got a new Toyota, bro, company car. Yeah, man got the Sebastian OJ Toyota, bro. I was like, this is on serious.
Swear.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it should be Sebastian Loeb, but
no, Sebastian Loeb drives a Citroen, bro. OJ is a Toyota driver, bro.
You got me.
Man's locked in with WRC, bro. Rally of Portugal, OJ, my guy.
Hey, you got me, man. Fuck, you know. You can tell I'm an old head.
Yeah, but OJ is an old head. OJ's got like 7 championships as well. bro.
I know.
Been smoked by a man called Sebastian. Apart from recently, we have some random kids, but like, who cares?
And I grew up on Loeb, bro. Sebastian Loeb. This OJ Simpson brother. I'm not familiar with his game, so unfortunately, there's only one Sebastian I acknowledge, but sorry, it's just a time issue, just like the FIA.
No, fair enough, man. I was raised in that era as well, man. The era of when we were just watching Formula One or rally and saying, "Yeah, a guy called Sebastian's gonna win," and just kept it stepping.
Yes, premium ITV. I remember those days, man. Bring those days back, man. At least the Swans, but yeah. God, we got quite a lot of quality to get through as well. But let's quickly go through Ferrari. They got knocked out by double teamed by Aston Martin on the mediums, and they got knocked out Q2. Thoughts?
How can I put it? The car's not good, but we can't let the car not being good distract us from the fact that the drivers both fumbled. If the drivers both got green, and were knocked out, or if they both made the same mistake where we can see that, this is something fundamentally wrong with the car. So it's like, you know, when like Mercedes were asked in the past couple of years, and you can see Russell and Hamilton, when they were like really bad at some cases, they made the same mistake or got off at the same corner or something like that. And you'd be like, oh, this is just something wrong with the car because these drivers are too good.
I remember that Austria 2023 or some shit like that.
Oh, 22, where it was just like Hamilton went off and then Russell went off, and we're like,
huh? It's just like, there's something not right here. Yeah.
Even like McLaren, where Lando and Oscar make the same mistake, where they'll either brake too early or just lock up their wheels. And we're just like,
because of the anti-dive thing.
Yeah, because like, we're seeing a pattern. These men did two different things. Like Hamilton had oversteer and Leclerc had understeer. I'm like, this is like, I can't find a pattern to kind of be like, yeah, the car's bad. It's kind of like the drivers let themselves down a little bit. The car was not good, but the drivers let themselves down a bit as well. And like, if there's no pattern, I can't back you if there's no pattern. I just have to sit there and just go, you guys kind of had a bit of a stinker, but you know, don't let it distract everyone from the homeboy having a stinker in front of his schoolmates, bruv.
Don't worry.
That's been there too, bruv. The nation of Italy left with nothing that day, bruv. Man left with nothing.
Crazy work. Honestly. Last but not least, pole. Did anyone bottle pole, or did Piastri deserve pole despite being in traffic? Basically, did the Max and Norris stink, or is it because the C6s were so horrible that they were never going to improve?
Oh no, Norris stunk. Max was fine. Piastri cooked. Russell was just doing Russell things.
Russell done big brain because he went to mediums.
Yeah, but also he had a bit of a stinker because he was the last person to cross the line. His tires were extremely cold and he was a bit slow in the first sector. So that is like, he could have been on pole. Still wasn't going to win the race, no matter what. But like, could have gotten a cheeky pole. But yeah, I think it was kind of just fair enough. Apart from Norris, he just had a bit of a stinker. I'm not really mad at anyone. It's like, but then again, we're seeing with this McLaren that Norris, when it comes to the final little bit, he can't get it. He just doesn't have the ability to get it.
He can't eke it up.
Yeah, I think at this point we just have to accept it. It is the way it is at this point. So
that Lando can just get more of a. Oscar can just get that little extra 10, 50 wheel. That little extra percentage Lando.
He's better at treading that line than Lando, even though Lando's naturally faster. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird, but and that's a problem for my head and Peter to discuss, bro. They can put that on my McLaren TV, bro. I'm just gonna laugh at it. I'm just gonna laugh at whenever it happens.
That's fair. That's fair. Don't see it stopping anytime soon. But yeah, let's move on to the race start. And we had, of course, Piastri on pole, Max second, George third, etc., etc. So George got a really good start. Oscar had an okay start. Max had a pretty not so great start. But of course, in the run into turn one, George was quite unfortunate because Oscar was in the way, so we couldn't really like make Oscar disappear, or else he would have had Max booked just like there. But yeah, Oscar kind of braked, I guess, normally where he usually brakes, or maybe a bit earlier than usual. And Max starts to do a late breaker move, and he absolutely nailed it. And you just got to put your hands up, be like, fair enough. However, Oscar obviously got a bit of criticism, from like sort of Jacques Villeneuve and other people and stuff like that. Do you think Oscar left the door open and maybe he wasn't as aggressive on Max as what he should have been? Or do you think maybe he shouldn't have braked so early? Or do you think, you know what, it's one of them where Max just did a mad move and it is what it is. It happens. He got an inch perfect because also gave enough room, but not like abundance of room. So it was really one of them. Like, if you're gonna make a move, you've got to nail it. Because if you don't, you're either gonna touch gravel or you're gonna touch Oscar. And Max pretty much nailed it. So, Chris, what's your thoughts on Oscar losing the lead of the race to turn one?
How can I put it? The thing is, I've been Oscar's like one of Oscar's biggest defenders on the pod, and kind of like whenever he does something, I'm not overly happy. I always give patience and time. This was the first time I was genuinely annoyed with Oscar in terms of his race start, because your X factor is normally that you make the right decisions in wheel-to-wheel combat and you kind of nail things correctly. And he just messed up. And it's one where he messed up in a way that Max Verstappen gets away with having a crap start. Like, because you saw George on the inside and ahead of Max, he decided to cover off George, which is like, fair enough, but he's driving a Mercedes, bro. You can get the Mercedes easily. The Red Bull is the car that's harder to get by. We need to stop thinking of the fact that, oh, it's a battle between the two McLarens. Max is there. He's there. So I feel annoyed. He got off. He broke too early. He was too focused on preoccupied with George. Like, Villeneuve's right. Like, it wasn't good enough. And it's one thing, he knows it. George was pissed at him because he was like, what the hell is going on here? Because it's like, I've just seen Max go around the outside. Like, don't get me wrong, Max nailed it perfectly.
100%.
And like, it's a world-class move. And I give him his due credit. But I am also annoyed that Oscar allowed it, even a sniff of that to happen. Also, because I was there on the chat prediction, I said, these men are gonna DNF, bro. Because I saw Max making that move. Yeah, man. I saw Max making that move from a mile away. I knew that was coming. So I was kind of just like, yeah, Max gonna try and make that move, and Oscar's gonna be like aware to it and not let it happen. They're just gonna crash into each other. And then it is what it is. But so I'm just disappointed, and it's just like he got it wrong, and it started his eventual decline and kind of struggle of a race because he just didn't make the right decision. He just didn't make the right business decision. He covered the wrong person, and
it's one of them. Yeah.
It's one of those where I like see Barcelona, Spain. Gotta make the right decision. Like, if you're starting the pole on the front row, you gotta make the right decision about who you're getting first and who you're not, bro. So, but it's a lesson learned, and next time she should be better, hopefully. But I can't excuse this one. Like, here's what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you. To be fair, I thought I always do. Max was going to do like a late little dab on me, feel. To be fair, but like I would have thought Oscar maybe would have just pushed them off a little bit, been a bit cheeky. But I don't know if, even though Oscar sort of stood his ground if you want Saudi, I don't know if because of these new overtaking rules, if that had a bit of an effect in the back of his mind. To be fair, I don't know. Because, for example, we've seen with Leclerc and Albon later in the race. That's drawn up a bit of controversy as well. I thought Leclerc was all right, but according to footage and other people, Leclerc was actually in the wrong. To be fair,
I did not, bro. I was there. I was like, bro, like, nah. Do you know what it is? Watching everyone overtake there, make moves over there, and for these two to be the ones to not make it, I said, this is a penalty, bro. I was like, bro, because everyone was doing the same move and it was coming off the same or similar ways. When it happened like that, I was like, nah, this isn't it, bro. But we'll get to that point. But I think it was fine. I think it was one of those ones where it's a lesson learned. Put that in the data bank. Don't make that mistake again. And Max, well done. You nailed it. Like, we all knew what you're going to do, but you nailed it. So fair enough.
Yeah, that's true. I guess next time just going to be more aggressive. That's it. That's also what Oscar's got to do.
But wait, if you're racing Verstappen and George Russell into turn one, you block Max Verstappen. Like, don't worry about Russell. You can get Russell back on pace. The Mercedes is not good. Block Verstappen. That's the real enemy.
That's the key thing, yeah. But yeah, that's one of those things, So, let's swiftly move on to McLaren then. So, McLaren, Oscar qualified a pole, Hans Lando qualified P4, but he ended up doing a 2-3 with Lando get P2 and also getting P3. So, in terms of their race pace, Chris, do you think they were fastest car on track, or do you think the Red Bull had the edge on them? And do you think this is going to be maybe a bit more of a theme going on, where McLaren aren't going to be the dominant side track by track, where Red Bull are actually going to get the measure of them?
I think that the Red Bull was the fastest car. I think that McLaren were okay. I think they could have won the race with Oscar, but I just feel Red Bull was the fastest car. That car was fast, and this PR campaign against Red Bull saying calling it rubbish or whatever has to end. But McLaren were okay. I think they also made the right call after all the safety cars, basically of not saying swap positions, because Verstappen was just faster than these man. He was faster.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Suzuka where these men were clearly faster and they're just stuck behind, man. McLaren was slower. Like when Lando was in clear air, he wasn't hunting him down. When Lando got past Oscar, he wasn't hunting him down.
Yeah.
Oscar was second. He wasn't hunting down Max. So clearly, the Red Bull's just the fastest car. Max was locked in. Red Bull's fastest car. We just have to accept it for what it is. And like, it's okay. We move.
We move. Do you not think McLaren may have got it wrong with the strategy call with Oscar? Because the pitted Oscar, I think it was on lap 12, but I'm pretty sure Oscar was only like 2-3 seconds behind Max at the time. So I'm guessing they were trying to do it undercut. But then, because with the VSC and then stuff like that, they pitted again with the VSC onto thresholds, and then what they kind of needed, but kind of didn't need simultaneously was a safety car. So they needed a safety car on a bunch of field up, but they didn't need a safety car because Oscar had no tires left. So with that aspect, is it like maybe was Oscar a bit too slow? Was it just McLaren, or like would it have been the case of just McLaren should just famed Oscar to do another 10, 15 laps like they did with Lando?
It was one where everyone was suffering from graining, and then Ferrari pitted Leclerc to get him into clear air. And then when Russell got overtaken by Norris, he went into pit, and we saw the undercut was crazy. It was crazy. So McLaren did the sensible thing and said, okay, let's just pit and see what happens. But then the traffic that Oscar was out in, and then the graining clearing up on those mediums has just led to a situation where Max was just ahead. And then at that point, then when the VSC came out because of Ocon, the race was kind of a wrap. It was done. So I'm very much in the school of thought of it was unlucky, and in hindsight, you'd keep Oscar out for longer because he could have gone for longer. If you just go firm the graining, it will clear up, and then you keep on going. But I feel like they made the right call in trying to undercut and trying to get clear air and trying to force the action. It just didn't come off, and I'm not gonna blame a team for trying to make a move because you don't account for a safety car. That's not how you do race strategies. You just you do what's best at the time and see what could happen, and it made sense. It just didn't come off because they messed up the pit stop as well. So
slow stops as well.
Yeah. If you're a fast stop, a little 2.1, suddenly Max has to think about pitting. Red Bull have to think about pitting, and then the whole dynamic of the race changes. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah, because Oscar got 3.6 on the first one and 3.3 on the second one. So, you're already fighting the tall order, aren't you? But no, to be fair. But, yeah, okay, fair enough. We've kind of already spoken on Red Bull's tractor, so let's speak on your team then, Ferrari then. So they've done this pitch strategy. I think Lewis starts on the hards, Charles starts on the mediums. I don't think I wrote down, and Pirelli hasn't posted where people
It was about 10. It was about 10, 11 laps. That's when Charles stopped.
Yeah, you'll know better than me. I usually rely on Pirelli to give me guidance, but they haven't tweeted. You stop where. So I didn't invite everyone down because I thought, Pirelli will help me bust case. Just to speak on Ferrari, because I'll be honest, they were looking kind of quick on certain spells, especially Lewis on the, I think, second stint and the third stint. He was looking kind of quick, I can't lie to you. So talk to me about Ferrari, about the pace. Now you think Charles and Lewis gone?
I feel that the race pace from Ferrari was very good. To me, they were the third best car in terms of race pace. I think the drivers did a very good job. They got into like a relatively sweet spot. They were executing their races relatively well. Obviously, Lewis was behind Antonelli for a long period, but I feel that the car looked good, and this is kind of the potential that Fred Vasseur was talking about. So I'm not mad at it, and I feel that as a team we're okay, and obviously it's not where we want to be, but at least on the Sunday the Tifosi had things to scream about. Like the real Tifosi were out here screaming and clapping their hands at their drivers moving up the field, and like they were distraught on the Saturday, but on the Sunday they came back locked in and enjoyed the team moving forward, and they felt like while Leclerc was bemoaning his bad luck, it was still again a solid drive, and then Lewis felt a lot more in sync and on pace with the car. And if Antonelli wasn't in the way for as long as he was, we might have gotten more from him this afternoon. So I'm not overly mad, and I feel that it's just that we just have to accept the way it is. We just need to sort out qualifying and just be in the mix, because if you're in the mix, you can get cheeky podiums. Word to George Russell, bro. That's his whole gimmick, bro. I'm just there, and then when man mess around, I can pick up a podium. So you never know. You could pick up a race win under the right circumstances. So I'm not gonna complain too much.
Cool. Let's move on to everything else. Do you want to speak on your ops? You want to speak on any other teams? That might have done well or badly in this weekend in Emilia, Ranch.
Richard, it's time to talk about your number one driver from your team, bro.
Brother,
no.
Got him.
It might be Stroll. It might be Stroll because the championship standards is saying one thing, bro. But as Brother Kunle said in the Miami review, when will Alonso get points? Brother, it's the European season and you still have 0 points. And then he gave me the best radio of the year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be torture. It's a wreck. I'm the unluckiest driver in the world. I'm telling you, the endorphins I got from that radio, bro. It's like going to a party and getting the best looking girl and the DJ's playing your favorite music. It's like when your team scores a 90th minute winner to win the league. When I heard that radio, the way I was smiling, I was gritting teeth, bro. Oh my God. That was world class, bro. Do you know how long I've missed these Alonso radios when he's suffering, bro? It's like box office entertainment, bro. And he still got 0 points. I remember in the group chat, Mr. Rafa came in saying, Alonso, P5. I said, where's the points? Where's the points? I've come on a Sunday, I see P11. I was watching P10. I was like going, Huckleberg, you got to do something for me. And he did. Yeah. But then I remember Hulkenberg in the South Bowl, he's going to lose out. And it's Hulkenberg, he's going to lose out. Thankfully, Yuka Tsunoda saved my life.
Oh my God.
No points for Alonso. This is brilliant. But the upgrade seemed to work a little bit. So, it could come, but I'm going to, still dance on his grave as I have the chance. Because I know the end's coming soon. So let me dance while I can.
Man said, I know the end's coming soon,
At what point he's gonna get points? So
Yeah. No, that's true. I don't know. I mean, the upgrade seemed to work. To be honest with you, because for us to qualify into Q3, I don't think it was all the medium tires. Obviously, the new floor and the new engine cover did do its thing. So, because that upgrade got started in December, so most of it was done in Mercedes wind tunnel. Then it got fully calibrated towards the end in our new wind tunnel. So, and to be honest with you, for at least the first stint anyway, for the early parts of the race, it looked all right. And then the race pace just dropped all the way down. But so, lessons learned and stuff like that. Lessons learned. But, hopefully Monaco can come correct a little bit because, Fernando, we need you to step up, brother. You know what I'm saying? We need you to step up, brother.
See, that leads on to two things. One, you giving all the facts about the upgrade has annoyed me because now I can't run the Louis agenda. I said, Louis just met these men for lunch and suddenly they're making upgrades at work. He said, I'm not going to tweet it. So you man can see me when I'm having my bangers and mash. And then, boom, the upgrade started working. that agenda's gone. However, I will say something as a word of warning to both Aston Martin and Mercedes, people who have an interest in both, is that with Pirelli bringing softer tires, these two teams seem to be quite hard on their tires naturally. So, and temperature-wise, we see that these two teams were suffering like relatively the most. It might get spooky because Pirelli are going to be locked in and bringing more softer tires to increase the pit stops in the race. So, like the good fortune that Mercedes were having earlier on, it might come to an end, and you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm gonna have to do further reading and investigations on that to see how much of that the case is, what has been the season, and probably will be moving forward and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just kind of glad an upgrade semi worked and wasn't a complete dud. To be honest with you, that's the first time I've seen an upgrade work in like 2 years. To be honest with you, well, which is actually insane. I know it's actually insane, but yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see over the course of the season. I mean, it's a tanking year anyway, so it's like it's just we're on a jolly up. It doesn't matter if we finish fifth or finish ninth constructors. It's like cool. We should do more win time we get. Cool, and we're only win time. So we'll have to see. But Alonso, I would like you to get some points for that because the table is looking a bit crazy. But
you can't be doing tanking for new when you have Newey. You got Newey now. It's time to start moving.
He's working on 2026.
Yeah, but no. But you're saying extra wind tunnel time. The guy doesn't need wind tunnel time. He was using the Red Bull wind tunnel making these Red Bull cars, brother. The Red Bull wind tunnel, when it's a cold day outside, it doesn't work properly, bro. And that car was still winning races. So why are we talking about tanking for wind tunnel time, bro? That doesn't exist no more. You got Newey.
You want to know something extra funny? So supposedly Adrian Newey doesn't even like using the wind tunnel anyway. So we've kind of built this wind tunnel for I would say we built it for no reason because that's silly. But supposedly he's not the biggest fan of using the wind tunnels. He just likes to get his little expensive pencil and get to sketching. But listen, whatever he wants to do, we'll roll with it. Because you see what happened to Dan Fallows. You see what happened to Tom McCullough. Where are they now? The left up Adam Bougie. So whatever he says goes, man. Like Young Folks said, whatever Wham says goes. Whatever Newey says goes, bro. So I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we'll have to wait. See, 2026, we coming, yeah.
Nah, the Honda Power Dreams engines are coming back, bro. The McLaren Honda engines are coming back, bro. Honda got something for me, bro. I'm telling you.
They got this you, bro.
No.
Listen, and I know we've got Lawrence Stroll in charge, yeah, but he ain't a dictator like Ron Dennis. He's not going to be there doing all restrictions on a Honda and saying, like, nah, you got to put that thing into there, brother. Not the other way around. This is how it works. It's not going to be like that, bro. Don't worry.
Nah. As long as Alonso is in the seat, there has to be some sort of curse, bro. There has to be some sort of curse. If Alonso leaves, then it is what it is. If he's still there, I don't want to see no victories. Unless it's Lance Stroll, then it's just funny. But like, I don't want to see no victories. So you're gonna have to just hold that one still.
Listen, we will be free soon of both these ones. Well, at least Alonso. 2026, his contract ends. We will be free soon, brother. Run me George Russell. Give me that. Brits on Brits. Run me George Russell, brother. I want you to have some words with your big bro.
Bro.
Hey, you still ain't signing the contract, you know?
Oh, no, it's supposed to be getting... This way, we will know by Spa. So, by Spa, we will know what's going on over there. But before then, we won't. However, I will add that the fact that Alonso is still going to be racing when I'm 30 years old is killing my head, bro. Because this guy has been racing since before I was in year one in school.
Since 01 year now.
Bro, I was starting year one in that September. And he's still racing. can't believe it, love.
Just think since 01, yeah, he's only missed, I think, 3 years. So I think 02. I'll fact check that on the minute.
Yeah, he missed
And
02.
2019, 2020. He's only missed 3 years in the last 24, you know. That is insane. Insane work, bro. And he's still here. Quarter of a century, man is still here. Still here, bro. Fuck, you know. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on to. Oh, I was gonna say, does no one else you want to speak on? One of this? Maybe Gunther Steiner and his book tour. I don't know.
No, I don't go for his uni book tour. Like, if you want to go to an interesting tour, there's a David Caulfield, Mika Hakkinen one. If you want a more interesting tour, actually no, Mika Hakkinen. I don't care for David Caulfield. He's like Boss. He shows his cheeks on Instagram. I can't stand the guy, bro. Moving on. Anyway,
yeah, them algorithms they do not. Yeah.
I've logged on to the Pitstop Fracas Instagram. And I'm seeing man cheeks. I'm like, why? Anyway, we move on.
But yeah, because there's no one else you want to speak on. No. If there's no one else, no one else.
No, because that's the one person my Driver of the Day nomination, and then no, nah, not really. No.
Cool. Let's move on to Driver of the Day now. Who's your Driver of the Day?
Mr. Isaac Hadjar, because he was cooking. He made a slight error in qualifying in the last run at it, but the race was fantastic. Great tire management, good pace. Was a bit unlucky with the second safety car. You know, pissed off fielding back a little bit, but you know, I feel he maximized the car and he packed and potioned Liam Lawson. Like he's put in a better case week after week about, you know, moving to the Red Bull seat. Like, it's one situation where if you continue to improve and get stronger and stronger, and then the Red Bull, they sort the car out where it becomes not a situation where only Verstappen can really get the best out of it. You know, he's putting himself to be a potential candidate. So I'm not complaining. It's just been a really good start to the season. And, you know, the true believers, the true stock people that are stocking him, we're eating well. So I can't complain, man. But I'm telling you, that 2022 Formula 3 season, we'll never forget. We'll never forget. A lot of heroes were made in that season, man.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I think my one might be. I was going to give it to Albon, but no. Praising Albon feels a bit nasty, I'll be honest with you. I might low-key give it to Lewis, you know. I liked his pace in the last stints. I really did. Last, like, 2 stints, actually. I liked his pace, man. One more lap, and he gets a podium. I want to see. He finished like 1.5 behind PSG. Obviously, he was on dead tires and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I liked what he was giving me something. He was giving me a little something. You know, he's trying to fend off them washed allegations, bro. He's giving me something, bro. But listen, you got to take what we can get as a Lewis fan, man. You know that, bro.
Yeah, I know. You know, and the streets showed him love, and it made him. It sent a message to a certain section of people who've been telling on themselves, and need to accept that they are one thing and not another thing. Because this is the third time in like 4 years where I've had to tell people that you are one thing and not another. You support the driver, not the team. It's okay that you want the team to do well because your driver is there. That is fine. But you support the driver rather than the team. And people always tell on themselves. And it's so obvious when you tell on yourself. So, yeah, but, you know, it is what it is. The street showed him love. He enjoyed himself. I'm happy for him. And, you know, he was one of my honorable mentions for the other day. And the problem with Albon is, I'm not going to lie, a better driver gets a podium in that Williams, you know.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Oscar's tires were dead. Because you dispatch of Charles Leclerc. And then when Oscar gets overtaken by Norris, you got the pace, catch Oscar and dispatch him as well. A podium was on the cards. He knows it himself. He said so himself. But, you know, it was still a good race, but, you know, a podium was there. Like that's where, like, you know, the elite drivers grab that podium.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what
No?
it is.
I had that for sure. Let's see video. You are a stink. I'm trying to think myself, honest.
I'm just gonna give it to Ocon because he just had a stinky weekend altogether. Like, I hate it had to be my boy, but he was just not good. He wasn't fast anywhere, and his car just conked out on him. And honorable mention to Haas pit crew because Behrman was behind George Russell, who finished P7, but because they can't put tires on the car, he had to pit again and essentially kind of like DNF'd or finished second last or whatever. So, yeah, man. Haas, like, you did my boy dirty. Like, he had a cook session pending and we've left with nothing. So,
Yeah.
they get my Latifi Dios.
That's fair. No, because it's paying attention to the back a bit. I don't really know he really stuck like that, to be honest with you. See, I want to say Russell, but I feel quite harsh because he was a bit slow, but the car wasn't great either. So, I don't know. I actually don't know, I'll be honest with you. I would say Colapinto because his fans are weird, bro. There you go. Colapinto, hold that, bro. Your fans are weird, man. Yeah, that's my TVTO. Let's move on to listeners' questions when I pull them up, whatever they are.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised we lasted this long. That's the reason I asked for this question. I thought we'd be done in like 40 minutes or something. It'd be like, oh.
Do you know what's funny as well? You spent like 25 minutes on Quali, and we never do that. But because there's so much to get through, it was like, oh, this happened. But yeah, that's actually crazy. But yeah, let's run through these questions. So yeah, I'm just don't first time we've done this questions like over a year, you know.
Yeah.
Right, we fell off. That's crazy. That's crazy. No, I think from this race onwards we have to get back on it. Still, but cool. First question from Stina Swag, number 14 at Aston Martin. How fake is his watch? Also, Pina Colada, where's Jarvis and Latifi?
So number 14 is you watch fake. No, he's just old, and it's time to. It's not even he's okay. This weekend he didn't perform badly. It was just God telling him, stop it, be a family man. He's not listening to the signs. He's not his watch is not fake or anything of sorts. It's just kind of think of, you're not like, you've proven your point. You're not a bad driver. You're a very good driver. Just step aside. It's okay. But like, one of the things, I think sometimes I'm guilty of this myself. I slander him a bit too much. We're still talking about one of the elites of the sport. Like, let's not get things twisted. He's a 2-time world champion. One of the better drivers to ever touch a Formula One car. Like, we can't be too rude. But obviously, when man try and compare him to Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher, I have to slap him down. And I have to do it hard with like aggression. So that's why we get the situation where we're in. And also, is Colapinto the worst driver since Latifi? No, Logan Sargent drove in Formula One and Jack Doohan also drove in Formula One. So, yeah.
Fox.
Yeah, let's move on. And he had Albon sweating for a second, which was fun. So,
yeah, that's true though. Next question from Ray X Killy. How long can McLaren keep getting away with this? Since Emilia is being removed from the calendar, which circuit would you replace with? Look forward to this to the pod. Well, I don't know what she means by that. How long?
oh no, basically McLaren just forfeiting wins through just incompetence.
Okay.
That the drivers just not nailing things, strategy not being. I will say this: They are winning the constructors by a country mile.
Yeah.
So they do not care. Zach Brown does not care. As long as the drivers don't fumble a drivers' championship, doesn't really care. If the constructors come home and then these man driver fumble drivers, he'll just look at these men and just go, "That's a you man issue. I could just get someone else better to come in." So, boy, it's what it is.
It is what it is.
And in terms of
But yeah,
Imola,
Oscar Drivers World Championship though. Look out for that, yeah. Say nothing. But yeah, yeah, the Imola question. Which circuit would you replace with?
in my eyes, I'd go back to Germany. Either the Nürburgring or Hockenheim, I don't mind either or. But knowing the Medicali, we're going anywhere, bruv.
Wherever the money's at. Where the money's at, we're going from.
Pretty much. And I wouldn't mind a trip to Africa, but I need to work out when in the calendar that will be. Because
yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, when would in the calendar would be? Because I guess in the summertime would be two. Okay, because just one of them.
We're back. All
right, Undertaker. Right, so the ones who's not who's listening to this on audio, Chris's his bedroom lights, inverted commas, went off. So you
probably got to pay the light bill, you know. You got to pay the light bill, and you know things just happen. But you know the back cave where I'm recording from, we sorted it out.
Still happens, man. It happens. For me, at least, there's about 10 tracks I've replaced it with easily. Mugello, Hockenheim, Nürburgring, what's the name? Whatever the name was, the track in Turkey.
Istanbul Park.
Yeah, Istanbul Park. Portimao, fucking the one in Malaysia.
Oh, Sepang.
Yeah, Sepang. I can't be forgot that. Yeah, it's a bit of tracks to place, but I'll be honest with you. Imola is one of my more hated tracks. I always slander any chance I get. I tweeted the other day as well when Mexico and Vegas got contract renewals. If Imola gets a renewal, that's my 911. That will push me over the edge, bro. We do not need that. It's looking like it. I even think it's got something to do with the 26 calendar not getting produced yet because for, business purposes, shall we say, Chris, we need that to get released soon. But yeah, just if Himla's off the circuit, please just announce it because we need to stop promoting mid. The circuit is not good, bro. It's not good. Every overtake is at the same spot, bro. It's not a good circuit, bro. We've outgrown the circuit. The straight is not even straight. The straight's not even straight, bro. Like, what the hell? What the hell? You know what I'm saying?
The problem is, for there to be more overtaking, they have to get rid of some chicanes. But they cannot get rid of some chicanes because of things that happened in the past. If you know, you know. So now we're just stuck with whatever we have now. And it's fine for GT3 racing, but bigger cars or like F3 and F2, those some decent racing and good races. But these big Formula One cars, it's time to let old yellow go.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not even a case of I want more overtaking. I'm saying, like, if a driver wants to overtake someone, it shouldn't be the case of I can only overtake him at this spot. Because that's what it was. That's what Oscar was doing. He's overtaking the same. Any man who was overtaking, it was into turn one. He can't do any other post moves, not because he's incapable, because the track's too fucking shit to do any other post moves. That's what the problem is. So that's what my issue is. It's the lack of creativity, if you will, and variety.
And also the fact that a lot of these men don't know how to race one another. So it's like some drivers have fantastic chemistry when racing one another, another man do not. So, case in point, Lando and George, where like Lando made the overtake into the second chicane. That's because these two know how to race each other and they always leave each other space and like take it to the limit of where it's fair, but not the hard limit of the lines of racing. So like it made for good racing and it was entertainment. So, but that's just because them two just know how to race each other and always go wheel to wheel, right on the limit, but always fair. So, props to them, man. And in this era of just shoving each other off the track, these two know how to race.
That's fair. I'm not mad at it. Next question off Usman RM95. A quick word on my boy Hadjar. Is he allowed to take the second seat at Red Bull? You've kind of already spoken on this, haven't you?
Yeah, I've kind of said as if Yuki continues to not pull any trees and Hadjar continues to improve and do a good job, we got something cooking. The Hadjar believers, we got something cooking, man.
No, that's fair. Next one off Ben. What's his name? Ben Trouble 012. Is Norris becoming a Coulthard region? Rapid and brilliant on his day, but his day is as frequent as Super Good Grand Prix 2007. Fuck you know.
Hey man, respect to Super Guru 2007. They gave me the days of days when Sato packed and potioned Alonso in Canada. Oh, what a day! What a day! But I wouldn't say Coulthard region.
Yeah.
I'll have him more in the Jensen Button category, which is better than Coulthard, because we have to remember Coulthard had the fastest car in 1995, and him and Damon Hill were doing nonsense.
Facts.
Never forget. Yeah, these are the facts that we come up with, bro. So,
but yeah, Jensen,
because you know how Jensen on his day was really fast, but then when the car's not where he likes it, he could be ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think, yeah. He's kind of, I don't want to say a little bit Rosbergy, but he's in a weird category in a way, honest. I don't know. It's like when he's quick. And then if certain things don't go his way, he's all over the place. So
the Rosberg comparison does work because Rosberg wasn't the best wheel to wheel, and he very much was like that. But then again, that means Lando needs to find his missus, have some children, and then leave them alone for a year. Then your championship will come.
I don't see Lando leaving any things for the year, bro. I can't see them.
We've seen these IG DMs, bro. Am I allowed to say that? It was probably because of timeline at one point. When he was like, do you want to go Mackey's to the babe? And that's why he became Lando Norris.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, if it's public, of course you can say that. Unless you see, no? Well, I don't know. I thought you seen it because you're industry.
No. I am not industry, bro. This was just on the TL.
Fair. That's fair enough. That's fair. But yeah, go from talk about Lamb Norris to McDonald's. Right. Fair enough. Last question here from Magic Johnson. Can Ferrari turn around the season? Should Vasseur be fired before 2026? And is Yuki a fraud? Ooh, okay.
Can Ferrari turn around the season? They're planning to. I know their new suspension guy is working on an upgrade for the suspension, which seems to be the problem with this year's car, and been a problem for Ferrari's car since about like 2022. Should first of all be fine for 2026, unless you have a good replacement in mind. No, because we did the firing of a team principal, and then we got Fred in. So we're firing him again. Unless you have someone in mind, no point. Is Yuki a fraud? No, because Red Bull didn't even believe in him. So I don't know why everyone's surprised.
That's true. Didn't believe in him. But yeah, I think Ferrari can turn around the season just because even more calm with dominance, it's not as cut and short as maybe what people may think it is. I went for 5. I saw before 26. It's a waste of time. See, Rex, you don't know what might happen. And Shuki fraud, no, because the bar was low anyway. So, hey, man. Yeah, last 2 questions. From Christopher 91. Should Pirelli bring softer tyres for the remaining races to have a mix of strategies to create exciting racing like today and Bahrain? I say yes.
Yeah, that's that. Just as long as they're not blowing up like Silverstone 2013. Yeah, bring the softer tires. You know, like it makes for better racing and more entertainment. And like part of what makes racing fun is the getting the fine line between being fast and managing your tires, and it allows for overtakes to occur. So I'm not against it.
Yeah, agreed. Hopefully the C6s aren't as sensitive as they are on other tracks, or else we can't pump fake them, teams to use them on a race day, because then, as I said, they'll just do the medium strategy, and then it's like boring. So yeah. Last question from Profile Yellow. Why couldn't Imola have bangers like this every other year? I guess the safety car. To be honest with you, I'll be honest. Before the safety car came out, this was like a 4 out of 10 race for me. I'll be so honest with you. I was not that moved. I really wasn't.
I think it was setting up for something a bit fun towards the end, but the safety car just changed that up. I mean, the second safety car kind of made things even more chaotic, so we caught live. Why it can't have bangers like this every year is because the track's not that.
The track is shit. Oh, sorry. The ghost of Senna said no. Oh, right, edit that out.
Hey, you're posted this one, so I don't care, bro.
Yeah. If you die, you die. But yeah, why isn't not bangers every year, Chris? Apart from me just hating them.
Because there's only one place to overtake, and last year the tires were too robust. So this year they made tires that kind of fell away, and it made for better racing. And yeah, and I don't know what else to say.
It's one of them. It's one of them things. But cool. If you made it this far, thank you very much. Please, of course, remember to do the usual. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube for under Pitstop Fracas. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify under Pitstop Fracas. We're on Twitter /X, Blue Sky, Bloody Threads, Insta, TikTok, Snap. I don't know.
No, we don't have a Snapchat. we do not have a Snapchat.
Hey, I'm covering all bases.
That's a good thing. Yeah, follow us on LinkedIn. Actually, I did say
yes.
But that's different.
Yeah.
That's a different thing for different day.
Facebook, all them thing there. The Pitstop Fracas. Listen, we're on the Pitstop Fracas on everything, so make sure you follow us there, and we'll try and chain more content out when we can, and when Ranch stops being a fox outside. But yeah.
Literally every week you're getting a YouTube short or IG reel. What's going on here, man?
It's not enough. It's a Kendrick. It's not enough. All right, man. Peace.